Tell us about your background.
I've been with the North Las Vegas Police Department for 23 years. I actually started out as a dispatcher, and then I tested for a patrol officer when that first opened up, and I made it into the academy in 1997. I did some time as a patrol officer, a crime scene investigator, and then I promoted to sergeant. I worked a patrol sergeant, CSI sergeant, detective sergeant, promoted to lieutenant, back into the streets, narcotics, detectives, a little bit of canine, and then promoted into captain and on up.
So right before you were chief, you were?
Assistant chief.
Okay, and what were your roles?
Individually or as assistant chief?
Your duties as assistant chief.
As assistant chief, I oversaw all the operations of the department, all of the captains, including patrol operations, investigations, special ops, both area commands.
You're the first female chief. What does that mean for you?
It's very humbling. I'm very excited about it. It's one of those things. Growing up, all I ever wanted to be was a police officer on the street, serving my community and helping people. Never could I have imagined that I would have rose this high in the department. So it's very exciting.
So this wasn't a goal?
You always have a goal to go the top you can go, but I was so satisfied just working streets and helping everybody. And when the opportunities came, I just went for every opportunity I could.
Wow, okay. What can you say about last night?
Unfortunately, I wasn't there. If I knew that was what was going to occur, I absolutely would have wanted to be there. It started out to be a planned community meeting, discussing traffic, things like we do every quarter. It's unfortunate that it went that way, which is why we're having these conversations today. I didn't want to have to wait any longer to get our message out and our word out. In a way, I'm glad that we had that happen, because it shows the community is concerned and they want answers, and hopefully they take some ownership of their neighborhoods and communities, want to partake in our outreach programs that we're going to have.
Okay. You've been chief for 2 weeks.
Yes.
You've kind of inherited an issue lately, right? Can you talk about what's happened really just in the past month as far as violence here?
Yeah, it's unfortunate of these incidents, and they've been back to back like that. Unfortunately, crimes like this happen. They happen everywhere in the valley. We've been hit particularly hard, and it's our responsibility, no matter what rank I am, whether I was on the streets, captain or chief, to take ownership of this and do everything we can to help the community.
So as far as community programs, anything else that you plan on doing here at the department about this type of violence, specifically gang violence?
Yeah, we're just started to incorporate, end the violence program. We're going to engage the community, offer some new technology, and we're reorganizing the department, as you can say. I had started this even prior to this, but it's only been a few short weeks. We've got 13 new officers that will be on the road. We had 5 already this week, and probably another 8 that's finishing field training. December 12th, we have 13 more graduating. We have another academy starting. So we're getting all of our officers on the street. We've got a new detective in there. We've reorganized our problem-solving unit, and they're going to be back in full uniform and marked cars, so they'll be patrolling the areas and be more visible. I have them working out of a different command, so they'll be down in that area towards Centennial and Palmer area, so they'll be more visible to the neighborhoods, getting to know the neighbors and what the problems are in a quicker response time. We've also got our canine units working more in conjunction with patrol in the substations, and they'll be out in the community a lot more also, as far as patrol force out there.
What else can you say about the gang problem here?
I think it's not only unique to our area. It's a valley-wide thing. It's been an issue. It's starting to rear up again. I think one of the things that we recognize that, and we're doing something about it. We've always been on joint task forces with Las Vegas Metro Police and the other agencies. We're beefing up our communications. I met with Sheriff Lombardo yesterday, and we discussed some plans moving forward, because we're all on the same page and we have the same issues. One of the things we need to roll out is our community outreach. Is we need to educate the public and these parents and how to recognize that their kids are in gangs and things that they need to look for, so they can help on their end in their own homes and the neighbors.
Are there any specific gangs on your radar, or anything more specifically you can share? When we've done interviews or on-the-scene questions, the response from North Las Vegas Police was, we don't want to glorify these gangs.
Absolutely.
Understandable, but the community does want to know more specifics.
Yeah, there are numerous gangs, and unfortunately, it's not like the old days where there was just a set clique. A lot of these gang members are intermixing with other gangs, and there's hybrid offshoots. So almost every week there can be some new offshoot of a gang. Some of our community outreach programs that we will have can discuss this with the parents, how to recognize if their children are in gangs, and how some social media techniques they need to be aware of what their kids are doing on social media, and find out pretty much more than they probably want to know about their kids through their social media accounts to help combat that.
11-year-old Angelina.
Yes.
What do you want to say about that? And it must have been difficult learning that that happened in your community.
It's sorry, I don't know why I'm going to get emotional on that. It's heartbreaking. I mean, as a parent, can I stop for a second?
I asked you about 11-year-old Angelina.
It's heartbreaking because of her age, her innocence. You have a family doing nothing but in their home, in their own home, doing homework, having dinner. You know, you should have the utmost safety in your home. It's heartbreaking that anybody would lose a child, a family member, but at such a young, innocent age is particularly disturbing. I know our detectives worked very closely with that family, and it was heartbreaking to see just what a family they were. They invited us into Angelina's funeral services that we attended, and it's just one of those things that hit home. You know, no matter how many years you do this job, I've been a CSI, I've been on the worst crime scenes and other things, but when they're children, they just hit you particularly hard.
And you said you're a mom.
Yes, I have two grown stepkids, yes.
Anything else you want to say aside from gang violence, but particularly guns or gun violence?
Yeah, you know, whether you're anti-gun or pro-gun, it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to gun ownership and responsibility. I mean, it's tragic that whether a 3-year-old gets a hold of a gun and accidentally shoots themselves, whether a teenager gets a hold of a parent's gun and commits suicide, you're breaking into a neighbor's house getting guns. You need to be responsible for your guns, and that's what it comes down to, and that's one of the things we'll be rolling out for the holidays is a gun safety project. We've ordered hundreds of gun safety locks. We're going to have a community event and pass out those locks, and it's not about gun ownership, it's about gun responsibility that we want to bring out there to the community.
Will you be holding a town hall about recent violence?
Right now, my urgency was after what happened last night. We didn't think that anything could wait, and that's my urgency was to get out here and speak to the community and let them know they have a right to be concerned, but we're also concerned. We're not turning a blind eye to it, and we are actively doing everything we can, and we wanted to get this message out there now immediately to calm everybody's fears and know that, you know, we're listening to what they're saying.
So if I'm a concerned member in the community, I'm concerned about my neighborhood, what you're saying is perhaps volunteer or get involved that way?
Yeah, we have through our community engagement, we have numerous planned events throughout the year. The communities have events, Neighborhood Watch, and you know, I had mentioned this earlier, although we didn't like what happened last night, we're glad that people are concerned and they want to get involved, and we want them to be involved. We have these meetings. They need to attend the meetings prior to anything bad happens in their neighborhood and be involved in that, and we have those all the time. Anytime they want to reach out to any of us, we will set up meetings in their community, and we'll come out and speak for any other reason. That just let us know and be involved, and don't let it get to this point.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Just that, you know, we are as transparent as possible. We're open. This was a big thing. We weren't going to do any, you know, interviews and stuff to next week, you know, just getting new and settled. I've been meeting with community leaders and our partnership and everybody, but this is a priority, and this was an urgency that we felt we wanted to get out and speak to everybody and let them know that we hear their concerns and we're doing everything we can to address them.
Are there any problems within the department that you think we need to address this now?
Department-wise, what I've done is we have resources. We are just reevaluating how to get them out there faster and sooner, which is why I'm directing the whole squad that we're getting right out there into that immediate area so they can be more visible. Our officers are directed to be out there more visible, get out of their cars, talk to their neighborhoods. The more they know their community and that neighborhood and the neighbors, they're going to trust the officer that they can come and speak to them and say, hey, I noticed this that's going on. You know, we've added more resources and just getting out there more so they see that we're visible out there.